Hello everyone. So for the lab of today, you see here that you have in fact three networks. Okay, you have three local area networks. This is one local area network, the second one, the third one, and they communicate via each other according to these routers. So the routers are used when you have different networks and you want to communicate in the exterior. So as you can see, you have here several entrance points. And these entrance points are via this network with 192.168.30, okay, and 1. Okay, but this belongs to class C, so this is the entrance point. Then this one is another network with 192.168.20 and 1 as the entrance. And here you have another network, which is this 192.168.10 and 1. And now the switch, what it does is, in fact, you can think of it that here for a local area network, you can have an institution, a lab, a research lab, a company, and inside it, you have these computers. They are usually assigned IPs of version 6, meaning that you have 6 parts for the IP. And when you want to send the messages outside, you will have inside the switch a network address translator such that it will send towards an IP of version 4, which is this one. So in fact, the switch is for connecting your devices, your PCs, and it is used to forward packages. So for example, here I can have a local area network, and if I want to send a message from PC2 to PC3, it will be done via the switch. And in fact, you have inside the switch the MAC address table, so it will know how it will transfer it. As you've seen in the second lab, it knows which computers are connected. Then you have the router. So the router is used when you want to send packages to the exterior, but as you can see here, it will do an IP routing. So it will use your destination network address. You've got the mask, and you will have the next hop. So here you have your destination address. A destination address is in fact the IP. The mask is how much you can use. So let's have it here. Talk. Okay. Having it like this. This one means what is an octet. Okay. You have 8. Okay. Octet means 8 bits. Okay. And for this 8 bits, okay, you will be having here inside the powers of 2. So starting from 2 to power 0, tuck, 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 until 2 to power 7. Okay. The sum of all of this means that you have it equal to 255. Okay. Now, inside the network, it means that you start from the address with 0 at the end. So when having the address with 0 at the end, this is called, you have the network address. This is the access point. So you have the network address. Network, oh, okay. Address. Okay, and you also have the broadcast address, which is the last address used for sending messages towards the whole PCs in the network, being the one ended in 254. So in total, you would have 255. I mean, yeah. Okay, so you have 254. Okay, 250. This is with the power of 8 is 256. But what you can use, in fact, is that you will have the IPs in this network are using, so the first accessible IP for assigning the stations is 192.168.6.8. This is 10 and 1. Okay. All right. Then you will have the last address. So it means where you would stop, and it would be in this 254. While the last accessible one, okay, is in 255. And when you have it ending in this, okay, in 255, meaning that from 0 until 255 you have 256 stations, which is, okay, you have 2 to the power 8. Okay, this means that here you will have the broadcast address. Broadcast. Okay, and you cannot assign it to any of your stations. Then here, when having the mask, what is the meaning of the mask? Whatever the IP you got, so you have several parts of the octet. You have one octet, second octet, third octet, fourth octet. An octet means 8 bits. And when you have something like here with 24, it means that you have what? You have 3 times 8. So you have this mask of 24, meaning that the first part of the IP, like you have it here with 192, okay, 168, then you have 10. Okay, this is used for the network. So this is how you will be able to access the network. While the last part is used for the stations. Okay. And here you see that in fact for one octet you have what? You have the sum between 2 to the power 17 to the power 1. This means, okay, that you will have 256, okay, minus 2 stations because you don't use the network and the broadcast address, okay, so it's input output address for it to have the ports to communicate with the exterior, and it means that you have 254 stations, so addresses that you can assign. Okay, you have these stations starting from 1 until 254. Okay, so these would be your stations which you can assign in this local area network. So this is one local area network. This is another local area network with the switch when they can send packages to one another. And you also have this one. Okay, so you can forward messages with frames between one another because if one package is too big, it will be simply divided into parts, and then you have the acknowledgement when the full message was received. Okay, and what does this IP route mean? If you select this router, you're in router 1. You think that you need your destination network address. Which is my destination network address? Well, it can be the one starting in 192.168.30, so meaning this one. Okay, and why does it have the 0? Because it belongs to 24. 24 means 3 times 8. It means that you use for this IP just the first 3 octets. Okay, so you have the 0 as being your network address. So this is your destination network. Okay, so you have messages that enter the network. This is the mask. For it, you have 3 octets here that are used. Okay, because you have this 24. So 24 means 3 times 8. So this is why you have this 255 3 times. Then, how can I access this destination, 192.168.30? Well, via the IP, which is this one, which is 10, 10, 20, and 2. Okay, so this would be your next hop, okay, based on it. And you have the number of connections. Let's say that you have 150 and you can have 150 computers to which you can forward this message. Okay, then, so you have from router 1, you can simply do the routing in this direction. And remember that you do it via the routes. So you can send it from route 1 to route 2, or you can send it from route 2 to route 3. Okay, so to this router, it means that you need your destination address. Okay, all right. And this also is of 24, both are of 24, so it's again with 255, 255, and 0. And which is your entrance? Okay, so you use the first part. And the entrance is with 10, 10, 10, and 2. And then you have 150 connections. Oh, let's put it here. Okay. Good. Let's go further. Okay. In router 2, what do you have as a connection? So you see here that you have the IP route. Let's go again. It's easier. Okay. You need your destination network. So whenever you want to send, first you are in router 2. Router 2 is this one. Okay. So how can you forward messages? You can forward messages via this network. And which would be the path? Well, when sending towards it, okay, so you have something like this. Okay. You will access this network via which port to which you will forward it. Well, you also have this one with 1010.1 being the closest to it. And then you can also access it by having what? You see here that this one, in fact, has the starting point in 0. Okay. And based on the same mask that you use for accessing the computers, it will have which access point? Well, the one with 10, 10, 20, and 0. Okay, so you take it like this. I want to access this one. How do I access it? Well, it's via this port. How do I access this port? Well, this port starting with 10, 10, 10, and 0 is accessed via the other one with 10, 10, 20, and 1. And now you think like this. I can go this way, but what I can do is to also send it to this network. And how can I access the network having this IP with 192.168.20.0? The mask is again with 24. So it means that you have 255 3 times. Well, I need to access it again via the IP, which is 10, 10, 20, and 1. Okay. So you think like this, how you can access networks from one hop to another. So this one is used via the hop, which is here. Okay, and this one is used via the hop, which is based on this address. While entering, so forwarding messages towards the network which exists here with 192.168.20 and 0, you access it via the IP which is 10, 10, 20, and 1. Okay, let's see it further. Okay, now we are in router 3. Router 3 is this one. So it is similar to the previous router, router 2. What can I access in a same manner? Well, it's the other way around. I want to access this network. So it's 192.168.30 and 0. Okay, so this is the beginning of the network because you use a mask of 24. Okay, so you can have 254 stations in total maximum. And how do you access it? Well, it's via the IP, which is this 10, 10, 20, and 1. Okay, so you have these two connected with one another. Tuck, tuck. Then my question is, how do I access this 10, 10, 20, and 1? Well, I have this 10, 10, 20, 0, which is accessed via which IP in this direction? Well, it's this 10, 10, and 1. And another question is, how do I access this local area network? Well, I would simply access it with IP route my destination network, which is 192.168.20 and 0, with the mask width 2553 times via which IP? It's exactly this one as a port, which is 10, 10, 10, and 1. Okay. Well, let's see how we assign all of them. Okay, I can show it here. I think it's, so you just drag and drop. So meaning that you do like here, you have the PC from N devices, you have this, server, you don't use it. But anyway, a server or a PC for your network, it's the same thing. Okay, so you have a device, then you will have the switch. Inside the same local area network, you want them to communicate with one another. You go here to network devices, then you've got switches, and you select the one with this 24 TP. Okay, good. All right, as well as you need the router. So you have here network devices, router, and it's this one with 2811. Remember from last time that when going inside the router, you need to zoom in, you shut down the power, and you use these fast Ethernet ports such that you can have a fast Ethernet connection based on this one with 161, which you simply drag and drop. As well as here you need a serial connection, so it is exactly this weak 2T. As it says here, you like to connect. So in fact, you create a warned area network. Okay, so you just link them from one another such that you can have the frames which are sent. So you put it twice, tuck, tuck. And in fact, when is it used twice? So don't forget to turn it on again. It is used twice here. As you can see, you have connection 1, connection 2. Okay, so this is why you have it with the two of them, which you use. Okay, real time. Okay, these will become green again. I just played with the electricity inside. Okay, so you do it for all of them in this way. And now you start from one corner. Let's say that we start from this corner. And you will have to assign the IPs, but don't forget that you need to set the default gateway. The gateway is in fact the entrance point inside your local area network. So when sending a message towards one of these computers having the IP with 192.168.10.2, and this would be 10.3, they would access this point, which is in fact the gateway, like you see it as an interface for your local area network. So it will have 192.168.10 and 1 being exactly this point. And for fast Ethernet, you need to have the connection turned on, as well as the address will be one of the following in the same address space. So it means that you can assign stations from this IP onwards, meaning that you will have 2 as the last value, and the mask saying here that it's of 24 for both of them. It will simply have this 255 provided 3 times. Okay, good. Let's see. And with this mask, so you have it according to the powers of 2. You have 2 to the power 7, which is 128. Okay. And you have 2 to the power 6, which is 64. When you do the sum between them, you have how much? You have in total this 192. Okay. So what does it mean to have a class A? You have several classes for your mask. Class A means that you use the first octet, so you have 8 bits here, which are used for the network. The other 3 are used for the stations. Okay. So this is the case when having this 8, your mask is with 255. Okay. Because you start from 0 until 255, so you have in total 256, in fact. Okay, IPs, and this is with 0, 0. Okay, and this one, in fact, it uses 2 to the power 7, so the end point will be from 1 until 127. Okay, and here you can fill in the octets up to the maximum capacity, which is this 255. Now class B, in fact, uses how much? It uses 16. You have 2 octets. So you have 2 octets for your network, and you have 2 octets for your stations that you can assign. Meaning that your mask is with 255 twice, and you have 0, 0 for the station. So this mask in fact shows how many bits you use for the stations and how many for the network. Look. Okay. And now, from where do you start? It will be from 128 until how much? It will be exactly the one before this one. So it will be until 191. So as you can see, here you use 1 octet. It's 2 to the power 7, but 128 is in fact the start point of the next network. Okay. And here you don't finish in 192 because this is the start of the next network, which is C, and my mask C is of 24, meaning that I have these 4 octets, okay, out of which I have 3 octets for the network and 1 octet for the station. So I have 255 3 times. That's 55. And 55 again. Okay, and 0. This means that here I start from 192 until what? Which is the next power that I will add here. This is 2 to the power 5. This is 32. And 192 added by 32 is 224. So this is 223. Okay. So you use the powers. And this one is 2 to 4. Okay, so you just add the station. This is just the explanation what it means to have this mask. So this mask means here that I use this part for the network. This is how I access my network, and this is why I have this gateway with 1. And what it means is that I can change the last part, okay, for assigning your stations. Then what we will have, in fact, is that you need to set the other networks. But for finishing with this part, I will, okay, come on, what happened here? This is turned on. Okay, so let's see, we have router 2. Inside router 2, I will set here. You see that you have the connections with a fast Ethernet and a serial, but you need to check here which one it is. So here it's this fast Ethernet 00, while this one is a serial 010. So you set exactly this one on, not the other one. It makes no sense to set this one and to assign the IP because you don't assign it to anything. You just set it here and you put it to be this one. It is 192.168.10 and 1 with the mask which is provided by default. Then you have the serial with 010. You need to turn it on and you assign the IP which is here while you keep the mask of the network towards which you want to send the messages. So it's this one with 255, 255, 255, and 0. Then similarly, you would have this router. You need to add the components with the one with 161. You have the weak to T from here twice. And going to config, you will have a fast Ethernet going up. The fast Ethernet going up, it's exactly this one. So it's a fast Ethernet 1.1. I mean this one with 0.0. You turn it on and it will have the IP with 192.168.20 and 1. This is the entrance point in this local area network. Via the mask is with this one with 255 3 times because you have forward messages towards a local area network where just the last part changes for your stations. So here when you have a destination with the last part with 2, 3 and so on, it means that it will match the first 3 octets of your IP. Okay, good. Then to continue with these networks, you will have to go here to your fast Ethernet. It will be turned on. And you need an IP from this local area network where you've got the start point with 192.168.20 and 1. So you can assign, for example, 3. And being an IP of mask with 24, it means that you use the first 3 octets. So this is why you have this 255. And the same is done here. We'll go to config and don't forget about the gateway. Both of them have the gateway as being the entrance point in this network. So the entrance point is this 192.168.20 and 1. And your fast Ethernet is the one after your gateway. So you can assign 192.168.20 and 2, while the mask remains of class C. So it's 255, 255, 255, and 0. And here you also have the gateway which is provided. Then for this router, it deleted. Okay, let's see. You have the fast Ethernet. The fast Ethernet is the one FA00. You turn it on, and it will be the one with 192.168.30 and 1. Okay, being this one. And it will be turned to be green. While you also have a serial, and the serial is the one with 010. You turn it on, and it's the one with 10, 10, 20 and 2 being this one with the 255 in it to forward messages towards the stations that belong to class C. Okay, good. Then we need the routing. The routing for router 1, you have it here. So or you use the CLI or you type here that in order to access your router 1, what you can do is to send messages via the network with 192.168.30 and 0, okay, as start point where the mask is with 255.255 and 0, via which IP in order to enter it, it is this one with 10, 10, 20 and 2. Then you also have the other network with which you communicate via the routers. So it means that from here you can access 192.168.10 and 0 start point with the mask with 255.255 3 times and 0 via the IP, which is this one with 10, 10, 10 and 2. Okay, so it is exactly this one. Then router 2 is this one. So you can have the display name. I can have R2. Okay, and it is saved. Okay, and we also need the routing. Routing, which is done with 192, as you can see, 168.10 and 0 via the mask with 255, 255, 255 and 0 according to the hop with 10, 10, 10 and 1. And you add them here. So being here, what you do is you want to access this network 192.168.10.0 via which port it will be? It will be via the port of router 1. How do you access this one? In fact, you need to have this 10, 10, 10 and 0 as being the entrance point here, which you can use via this IP. And this is okay. This is with 20 and 1. Yeah. All right. Yeah. 10, 10, 0, 5. Okay. And now comes the question when you can also forward it to this network, which is 192.168.20 and 0. The start point, the mask remains the same. How do I access it? Also via this IP. So it is okay. All right, then you also have a router 3. So router 3 is exactly this one. Okay, and you have the routes. Okay, the 30 is the one based here. You can access this one according to 10, 10, 20, and 1. Okay, so let's see. It's better here. So this one, you access it via 10, 10, 20, and 1. How do you access this one? It means that 10, 10, 20, 0 is accessed via the 10, 10, 10, and 1 as an IP. How do I access this local area network? Well, it's 192.168.20.0, which is accessed via the 10, 10, 1 as an IP to forward it towards your network. Okay. And that's pretty much it. So you need to send it towards your computer. As you can see, the first times it will be fail because it doesn't know how to forward the messages, but then it will know it. So it is the same like here. Okay, you send it to this PC, you send it to this PC. So it will be fail first time because it recognizes the network, but then it will be successful. So don't worry the first time it fails because it recognizes the whole network, and after that it is all right. You can send it as it is here and it's completely successful. So this is what you need to do for this problem. While when you have another network, let's say you want to have a router, and this router I want to create like a cloud connection. Okay, if I want to set this router to be like in the cloud, you have this plus over here. So you select the component, you have the plus, and it will be like a sort of cluster. So you have like another network at a certain distance, and this one you would set it to be in this connection between two networks far apart. So you would have to select a component. I won't select this one, but you can select it and you can set it to be somewhere in the cloud where you can add this local area network such that you simulate that you have them being apart at distance and you simply transfer your data. And this is basically the whole lab. I will close this recording.